Right?
All right, we're here with Mr. Seaweed.
Yes, sir.
Maine has an untapped billion-dollar industry. The problem is finding landowners that will allow the seaweed farmers to come and collect their seaweed. So it's not like hunting where hunters can go anywhere unless it's posted no hunting on their property. So here's Mr.
Seaweed, Tom Roth from Vitamin Sea. That's SEA, Vitamin C, seaweed from Maine.
Yep. Yeah, so that judge was probably one of those corrupt judges that got bribed by out-of-state money, not allowing people to go. Because what are you really hurting if you're just clipping the little ends of the seaweed?
You're not hurting it. You're helping it. You're pruning it, just like you prune your trees and bushes and it regrows better.
Yeah.
Your biomass gets thicker, right? Your canopy gets cut to the same level, which allows all the plants to get the sunlight and the nutrients instead of just the top tier ones.
So seaweed absorbs toxins in the water like CO2 and other, you know, pretty much man-made chemicals in the water. So by cutting your little pieces, you're removing some of that
We're removing
toxin.
the carbon out of the water.
Yep.
Which is letting the acidification become lower, and then we'll let it regrow.
Yep.
And it does the same thing. Removes heavy metals, removes the toxins out of it.
And it's used in so many products like makeup and other.
A lot of soaps, cosmetic use. Bladderwrack is known for, you make tea out of it. Like I said, bath products are made all with bladderwrack, and this island's got a lot of bladderwrack on it. All what you see here is bladderwrack, and then there is some rockweed on the top on the other side here.
Yep. So what do you think of my seaweed collection?
I think it's wonderful.
That's over 100 wheelbarrows of seaweed. I've raked up off the beach from the point to just a little bit down this way. I'm doing compost seaweed piles all over the island, just trying to get it all up. You know,
Yeah.
it's great compost, and all I got to work with is bittersweet, so can't hurt it.
Ireland, back early in their day, had no good soil for anything, and they used all their seaweed. They drag it up on the beach and mix it with some manures and some grass clippings, and that's how they made their soils.
Wow, there we go.
Yeah, this started centuries ago.
Yep, there we go.
Ask any old-time Maine farmer, right? They would come in the fall, they collect seaweed, throw it in their gardens, and when it breaks down, so when you see plants that have been treated with seaweed, the root, so it doesn't change the plant, but the root underneath, when you pull it out, will be 3 times as long, storing more water for drought, making your plant healthier, fight off diseases. So they've done studies on using seaweed in peach farms, and it didn't change the shape, the taste, nothing of the plant, but it gave it a 9-day shelf life.
Wow.
Extra. And we did the same for bread. Adding it to breads, we got 19-day shelf life. Now you go to any bread company and say, hey, are you interested? Of course they're not.
Yeah.
They want the bread to go moldy and go like, so you
buy
more bread.
Corporate America.
Right? So using seaweed just a little bit in breads won't alter the taste, but it will give you the nutrition value, and it will also give you better shelf life.
Is that because of the salt that's in it, possibly?
I
like it's a natural organic salt grown product.
So we did the study with University of Maine, and unfortunately it was right during COVID. So we got halfway through, and then COVID hit, so everything got put on ice, and we never finalized the entire project.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because the concern I've found with piling, like I am actually probably building a pile of seaweed that's ungrowable because of the high salt content, that I'm just pulling it up from right at high tide. It's wet, it doesn't get rained on, it doesn't get rinsed, it's just being piled and piled and piled.
Right.
Granted, there is stuff that will pop up in it, but you
need to turn it, you need to add carbon to it, so wood chips, leaves, anything,
because it's a wet compost.
Right. You need to add some carbon to that compost, and then that'll really kick off and really help it out.
Or the other option is to dump it in very small amounts. Like I'm kind of scattering it around where trees are growing on the island, and I've noticed a big jump growth in the trees since I've been doing this by just leaving a bunch of it. Like what I'll do is like the king tides will leave a seaweed trail, so that sits there for months before I actually get around to getting it, because it came up like in the winter and stuff. So by getting that seaweed, which is already starting to decompose, and dump that around the trees and stuff, it smells and it's gross sometimes, but it's been well rinsed, you know.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been drying seaweed in the same field for 20 years. 20 years. And the grass underneath my tables, my drying racks, and I have a covering over it. I have a weed barrier. And then over time, cutting the grass, shoots little clippings on there, and the seaweed falls from my screens, because they're screens. The grass that grows under my tables outgrows anywhere else in the entire field. It doesn't get all the sunlight, but it grows 3 times as fast under my tables, and it's from all the seaweed. So the salt, I don't believe it's
that high of a content to become toxic?
I don't believe it's because I would have nothing growing under there.
Because so your seaweed's not rinsed when it goes to
no, we take it from the ocean and we spread it on the tables, and in 12 hours it's ready to come off. And it's on a good day, right?
Yeah.
On a good drying day like today, I mean, this stuff, matter of fact, it's 90% dry sitting on the beach right here.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yep.
So pretty amazing stuff.
Yep. The hard part for me though is with these really low tides, the seaweed's all like in the rocks down here, and it's hard for me to get my wheelbarrow down to it. So
yeah,
I don't like
better
these
off when it's floating. You know what I do? We take a basket and we put it in an inner tube.
Yeah, you're saying that. Yeah.
We go around right now. I'm not lugging anything. I'm not dragging anything over the seaweed, dislodging anything. It's floating, and we cut it and throw it right into the basket. And
oh,
so
interesting. So that's the inner tube. The basket like goes down in it.
The inner tube, and it floats, and we're just walking along, right? And then we fill it. So, like I said, we're not disrupting. We're not dragging anything over on top of the plants. We're not harming them.
Have you ever lost an inner tube?
No. I poked it. I mean,
you
poked with the knife, because we're cutting with a knife. Oh yeah. Yeah, you get a tire patch and
fun.
Fix it up.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by seaweed.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years we've been doing it.
Yeah, I'm trying to make the island stronger and bigger, you know, or at least try to defend what we got here. So yeah, come check out what I got going on. That was floating way over by that other island over there.
On Hope?
No, that little one next to Hope.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but yeah.
Wow, you paddled out and got it?
Well, I got my 14-foot lund, but I have nothing strong enough to tie that onto, so I had to hold the rope and just go super slow.
Gotcha.
And I thought I was going to pass out when I got back.
You getting it all the way up here?
Well, I have a 1,000-pound dolly. I use that to move rocks. When I start building that rock wall, I'm going to try to pick out some of the bigger ones to bring up first, you know. But yeah, I got a whole good, you know, setup in here. This is shade all day, even if it's windy. Beautiful. You know, yep, my wind shade day for taking breaks, because when no one's here, I'm just working around the clock.
Wow, check it out.
And it's all built from construction trash.
Right. Look at your stove.
Yep.
Heat.
Yep.
Burning driftwood, firewood. I mean.
So the problem with driftwood is it's full of salt, and the salt liquefies when it gets hot. And this wood stove, I've had it out here. I think this is my 2nd year with it, and I don't know if it's going to make another year.
Really?
Yeah, it's chipping off massive with this past year, I pulled this up and I'd covered it with a tarp and packed it all in, and I opened it up and there was clumps of rust falling off it. It was, the salt air is brutal out here. Yeah, even like deck screws, like, you know, the real deck screws. Well, they're showing signs of rust already after 2 years, which is like, holy crap. Like, you think of deck screws as being impenetrable. They're like hot acid dipped for coating and, you know, all this other crap. But yeah, yep. So that's why I got that big box. Get out of there, hey! So I got that stainless steel.
Is that my dog?
Yeah, he's eating my dog
food.
Get there. The second time, he ate all our food. It's okay, Lola. We got plenty of food.
Oh.
Good girl.
There. Stop.
I just didn't know if you have a scheduled feeding with him.
No, he'll eat anything that moves on this island.
Oh my gosh.
Move.
Good girl.
Out.
So she does the doggy tours and I do the people tours. So Loli, showing him around? Yeah. Who's a good girl? And I sleep in this room.
This is cool, dude.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right?
Who's a good girl?
At night it must be just so like, that's it.
Freezing cold.
Yeah, but just the stillness, right?
Yeah.
You hear the buoys going.
Well, I actually run the fan.
We got solar panels?
No, 2 years ago, I started collecting rainwater, and now there's mosquitoes. So there'll be one mosquito every single night in there buzzing. So I just run the fan like pointed like towards me or above me, depending how cold it is, to keep the bugs away.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But top of the island, on the other hand, that's like at night with a flashlight, it's bug central.
Oh, God.
They're bad.
Never think of that, huh?
Yeah.
You just come out during the day, you're like, oh my gosh.
But the beach, I mean, there's like never bugs here on the, well, there's the horse flies that come out like late August. I killed one.
This is what's drawing a lot of your flies.
Yeah, the dead shit. That's why I
know you're trying to build this up, but this is what's really getting you.
But it's covering it with sand, and it doesn't smell. It doesn't do anything.
I'm smelling it.
It's not covered with sand yet.
Oh, I got
Yeah,
you.
I've only lightly crop dusted this to get it to sink into it, to try like fill the whole thing up. I'm trying to create like the rollovers from the tide, how it like makes this rollover of sand and seaweed mix. Those things are packed so hard.
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to get the sand to work all through it.
So you never had water come up this high?
This is the highest the water has ever been here, and there's over by that blue chair, there's a little bit of debris from the ocean, but the waves were coming. It's like a bow of a boat. It hits the boat and then runs lower down here. Like it didn't go up on that walkway, but it was up that high over there. So there's like a, like maybe a 1 foot discrepancy from there to here. So
it's enough.
That got wasted, that whole end of the island. Yeah. Yeah,
well, southeast that storm. So
yeah,
there you go.
Which is weird because winter storms are nor'easters.
Yeah.
Now they're coming inland, which is like, why are they doing that? They should be out to sea like all like normal winter storms. But to have these big, powerful inland storms, it's all sand. This whole end of the island.
Yeah.
It's bad. So
isn't it called Sand Island?
Well, actually, it's called Planet Sand now. Let me get you my card. You'll have my number. Yeah. I think you might be another maniac too.
I just love it. I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
I love it. I really do.
Yeah. So maniacmen.com in the red. That's my YouTube, my website, and all the links for the YouTube channels on that and everything. So to make it easier. Yep.
I love it.
So.
Well, listen, I would love to contribute as Vitamin C to help you with your project.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to be, involved.
Awesome.
So like I said, we've been doing this 20 years now in Casco Bay. We work all Casco Bay. Then I have guys up in Canada, an island called Graham and Ann.
Oh, so you're like big.
Pretty big, yeah. I mean, we do a lot of seaweed.
Yeah.
So if you ever look us up, it's Vitamin C, SCA.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just letting you know that we would like to be part. I'd like to help fund your stuff for what you're doing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Yeah, we got seaweed for days.
I love it.
Yep.
Well, you're what you do here for the people is unheard of.
Thank you. Yeah.
Letting the people come and experience your little island, and not shooing them off, not running down. Get off my island. You're letting people you're letting families enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And pets too. Look at your dog up and, what are you doing? Huh?
Right there. You find a mouse.
There are mice here.
You get a mouse. Oh, he's a mouser. What do you say? All right, we're gonna walk back down and see my kids.
So I had a walkway that used to go over here, but this has all been filled in with seaweed and sand here.
Yeah, well, it's packing nice.
Because that was all
right, this was all gone?
Yeah, it was gone all the way up to here.
Wow.
It was just a cliff.
Well, you've done a great, you're right about packing it in, and that holds it together. It's like almost cement.
And then bury it in rocks.
Right on.
Jeez, I thought about using mud flats. The mud, because I grew up on Cousins Island. When you dig down, you hit the marine clay, which is solid.
It's
so
like we're anchored. I couldn't even push the anchor in right there.
I think the marine, like the mud of the mud, in the mud flats would dry like in Mexico where they built
Pueblos.
Yeah, the clay.
Right?
It mixes like cement and it dries solid. You know? Because we're not allowed to have any permanent structures out here, so I'm trying to find ways of you know, trying to save the island, keep it fun for the kids, and do what I can do here.
That's
so
awesome.
yep.